Once upon a time, in a vibrant town nestled between rolling hills and a winding racetrack, lived a little mouse named Chase. He was born and raised amidst the roar of engines and the speedy cars that zoomed past his home day in and day out. From the time he was a tiny mouse, Chase had one big dream: to become a race car driver. He would sit for hours watching the sleek cars navigate the twists and turns of the track, their human drivers at the wheel. He yearned to be part of that world, to feel the wind in his whiskers as he raced around the track. As Chase grew older, his dream didn't fade. Instead, it burned brighter with each passing day. But being a mouse in a world of fast cars seemed like an impossible dream. How could a small mouse like him ever hope to drive a car? Then one day everything changed. The racing world was in an uproar. Max, a renowned race car driver known for his daring maneuvers and lightning-fast reflexes, had lost his nerve. After a string of unfortunate races, he was on the verge of losing his championship title. When Chase heard about this, he knew he had to do something. He couldn't bear the thought of Max losing his title, let alone giving up his dream. So he took a deep breath, squared his shoulders, and marched straight into the garage where Max's car was parked. The sight that greeted him was heartbreaking. Max sat slumped over his steering wheel, his usual confidence replaced by a haunted look in his eyes. "Max," Chase began, his voice trembling slightly, "I know you're going through a tough time, but you can't give up now." Max looked up, startled by the tiny mouse perched on his dashboard. "How can I possibly go on, little mouse? I've lost my edge. I'm not the driver I used to be." "Nonsense," Chase exclaimed, his eyes gleaming with determination. "All you need is a little push in the right direction, and I just so happen to have an idea that might help." With that, Chase got to work. Using scraps of cloth and leather he found in the garage, he fashioned a special seat for himself where he could ride alongside Max and guide him during the races. And as if by magic, it worked. With Chase riding shotgun, Max found a new lease on his driving career. The little mouse's enthusiasm was contagious, and soon enough, Max's confidence was returning as the race began. Chase and Max worked together like never before. Chase's encouragement mixed with his expert. Knowledge of the track helped Max navigate the twists and turns at breakneck speed. The other drivers, stunned by the unlikely duo, could only watch as the little mouse and the human driver zoomed past them, leaving them in the dust. To everyone's amazement, the human driver, Max, crossed the finish line first, winning his first race in over 5 years. It was a moment of pure joy and triumph. Max and Chase celebrated with a squeak and a roar, their hearts pounding with excitement. But this was just the beginning. With Chase by his side, Max went on to win race after race, reclaiming his title as a champion. Together, they dominated the racetrack, winning the championship for 3 consecutive years. At the end of the season, Max retired from driving, but Chase's journey didn't end there. A professional racing team heard about Chase's amazing talent and offered him a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to drive for them around the world. Max, now working as a mechanic, helped out from the pits, and it was his turn to help Max. As they raced across continents, Chase and Max became legends in the world of racing. Their bond grew stronger with each victory, proving that determination and teamwork can make anything possible. And so the tale of Chase the Racing Mouse and his fearless driver Max became a thing of legend, inspiring young racers everywhere to follow their dreams, no matter how impossible they may seem. Because with a little bit of courage and a whole lot of heart, even a small mouse can become a racing champion. Once upon a time in a vibrant town lived a little mouse named Chase. He was born and raised amidst the roar of engines and speedy cars. All the other mice dreamed of quiet country life, but not Chase. He yearned for adventure, for the wind in his whiskers as he zoomed past the trees. As he grew older, his dream only grew bigger. He wanted to be a race car driver, the greatest there ever was. But every time he tried to tell the other mice about his dream, they just laughed and said, "You're the small, you're the slow. You're just a little mouse. You can't drive a race car." But Chase refused to give up. Then one day everything changed. The best race car driver in the world, Max, came to town. He was supposed to be the star of the big race, but when the time came, he didn't show up. It turned out that Max had lost his nerve. He had lost his passion for racing after a string of unfortunate races. When Chase heard this, he knew he had to do something. So he took a big, deep breath, walked right up to the superstar and said, "Mr. Max, I know you're afraid, but if you let me help you, I promise you'll win." Max looked down at the tiny mouse and asked, "How can you help me?" Chase replied, "I'm a great navigator. I can sit in a car with you and tell you exactly what to do." Max thought for a moment. He had nothing to lose. So he agreed to let Chase ride along. Together they built a special seat for Chase to ride in. They outfitted him with a race suit, a helmet, and a headset. Then the race began. At first, Max was a little scared. But then he heard Chase's encouraging voice in his ear, and suddenly he felt a surge of confidence. As they raced around the track, Chase guided Max through the twists and turns, helping him go faster and take sharper corners than he ever thought possible. And then, to everyone's amazement, the human driver, Max, crossed the finish line first. He had won his first race in over 5 years. But this was just the beginning. With Chase by his side, Max went on to win race after race, each one more exciting than the last. They dominated the racetrack, winning the championship for 3 consecutive years at the end of the season. Max retired from driving, but Chase's journey didn't end there. A professional racing team heard about Chase's amazing skills, and they offered him a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to drive for them around the world. Max stayed behind to help out from the pits. It was his turn to help Max. And so Chase and Max continued their adventures, racing across continents and winning every major championship. They became legends in the world of racing, proving that determination, teamwork, and an unwavering spirit can make anything possible. The tale of Team Thunder, Chase and Max, the racing mouse and his fearless driver, echoed through the years, inspiring young racers everywhere to chase their dreams, no matter how impossible they might seem.
Subscribe for more.